Well, hello, internet friends near and far. Welcome to another episode of Parks and Conversation. This is a podcast where we watch an episode of Parks and Rec and then we talk about it. My name is Jason. I'm joined all the way across town by the power of the internet by my friend Jeremy. Say hello, Jeremy.
Hey, Jason. How's it going, man?
It is going well. We are coming up on the end of July as we are recording this, and it's a nice day. Weather is clear. Construction is working. It's good. So, how are you?
Good.
Sir?
I'm good. I am well. I'm in my office where it's cool and dark, and I'm ready to kind of get into this episode that culminates a bunch of storylines.
Before we jump in, then, Jeremy, we're talking about season 7, episode 6.
Yes.
What are some of your initial impressions of this episode?
Oh, Save JJ's Diner. It didn't, like, the title itself is kind of just a pass-by title in a way, because it's a bigger, what happens in this episode. There's a bigger storyline, I feel. But I mean, it does how it does, I guess I get it, because it does ended up saving JJ's Diner, but that wasn't. There's a bigger thing. It was the entire parks department and the national park that's getting resolved in this episode. So other than that, I thought this was really funny. I think it was an 8.1 on IMDb. I think it should have been a little bit higher, honestly. Because there's a lot of episodes. It's kind of like the whole Morningstar thing coming to an end with this episode, in a way. So yeah, I don't know. I thought it was hilarious. So what did you think?
I thought it was good. I enjoyed many parts of this episode, but it also made you think, because we had a very special guest, Johnny Karate's older brother, Jonathan Karate, which is great. I just love there's so much range in the Karate family, other than naming, but so
it's like Steve Urkel and Stefan.
Oh man, I miss those days. That was quality television back then. Family or TGIF.
Yep.
And Must See TV Thursdays. And then NBC was like, hey, what about, check this out, guys. Must See TV Tuesdays. Big old blocks of comedy. Where are there blocks of comedy on television right now?
It's a category on Netflix, I think.
I guess so.
And Amazon, just comedy. Just look it up. Everything in there should be funny. Well, or at least trying to be.
Yeah. But alas. Anyway, yeah, I enjoyed this episode. We got really two main plot lines that we're walking with through today. We have Tom and Donna on a treat yourself adventure. And we then have Leslie, Ron, and the gang dealing with Gryzzl and the national parks. So, Jeremy, why don't we tackle the Tom and Donna story and then the rest of the story?
That sounds good.
All right, let's do it. It helps out because the Tom and Donna story is actually a cold open, as Tom is seating Donna, Joe, and Terry, Jerry, Larry, Gary, whatever, to taste cakes. Why Terry's there makes no sense at all to me, other than this guy looks like he knows about cakes.
Yeah. Let's get him in the episode.
Yeah. Terry's got to do something. So they have 6 different cakes from the different restaurants, and so they start tasting, and Jerry is like, they're so good, I can't pick just 2. And Tom's like, well, then you have to leave and pay for what you already ate. And Joe is like, I like the vanilla one with the lemon cream. And Craig is there, and he freaks out because this is grocery store cake to weed out low quality palates. And Donna also liked this cake. My
wedding cake was a grocery store cake.
Mine was too. Yeah. It was from Albertsons, now Safeway. There was a lady in our church who worked at the bakery, and she gave us the cake as her wedding gift.
Oh,
It was awesome. It was
that's
really
nice.
good. Yeah. It was like a raspberry situation, like a vanilla with raspberry.
Yeah. No, yeah.
It was good.
That sounds delicious.
Wonder where I can get cake today.
Need more cake stores.
I know where I can get cake today. Now it's just a matter of convincing my wife to go downtown to Seattle. Aha. I've got a plan. I've got a whole project for today.
Well, there goes your Friday.
Yeah. I'm just going to text my wife all day. Hey, what do you think about...
Man, remember that time we had cake? Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. You've been to this cake place, Simply Desserts.
Oh, yeah.
In Fremont. It's so good.
Yeah, very good.
And, listener, if you're in the Seattle area and you're in the Fremont area, go to Simply Desserts. They take cash or checks.
Yeah.
One of the only places in the world that still takes checks. They're delicious.
Please start
cakes.
filling them out before you go in.
Yeah. You know where you are. You're going to Safeway. Just write Safeway. Like
Have it ready.
nothing is going to come in between you and the checkout once you're in Safeway. So please just write Safeway, the date, put the memo, groceries, all that stuff. All you have to do is put in the amount. That'd be awesome. Thank you, the elderly. So Donna also likes this grocery store cake. And then Tom's like, well, there's one more you haven't tried yet. And then we have a talking head about Tom being appointed by Donna as the butler of honor at her wedding, which isn't a thing. And Tom's like, it's made up, but I'm not taking it lightly. And he's going to surprise Donna with like the greatest thing, which is bigger than when LeBron went back to Miami, which this was filmed in 2014, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Where was LeBron at this time, Jeremy?
He should have been. Yeah, he should have been in Cleveland.
Yeah, so he was Cleveland, Miami, back to Cleveland. And how long has LeBron been on the Lakers then?
Oh, the Lakers?
Yeah.
As of right now?
Yeah.
I think the last, I want to say 4 years.
Yeah, so he never went back to Miami, right?
I don't think he went back to Miami. I'm not a huge LeBron fan. I like in that part of his career, I'm appreciating what he's done now, but I've never been a huge LeBron fan. So.
All right. Well, be that way. I'm just saying, like, as people are walking the LeBron journey, the Lakers is probably never something that was on their mind. Like he's a East Coast kind of guy. Ohio, Miami, he's over there.
He's a kid from Akron.
Yeah. And then to be on the Lakers. Like I thought that was such an interesting turn.
But it's the biggest market. I mean, it's the Lakers. Like that's how you cement your legacy is by going to somewhere like that.
Right. Yeah. Which is interesting. Anyway, so he definitely didn't go back to Miami. And but Donna is realizing that the person bringing in this cake is DJ Blunt's. And inside the cake is a little cake that says "Treat Yourself 2017" and a boombox. And so they're stoked. And Joe is confused. It's like, what's happening? Treat yourself. And like, just saying it isn't helping me. And even Terry, like, what's happening? And Terry's like, treat yourself. And so, yeah, this is going to be the biggest one of all time. And they're all super excited. And so Donna and Tom are super excited.
Everyone else kind of confused.
Terry's on board, but he knows it's not for him.
That's true.
It's like, I just want to go to Muncie. So
get to my timeshare.
Yeah, that's all I need. Just a stack of mystery novels and a bath. So that's the opening scene. We get the credits, come back, and we're watching a news show with the host Trod asking Roscoe from Gryzzl, hey, people are pretty excited or angry, not excited, angry about the data mining program. And Trod's like, in your opinion, have you done anything wrong? And Roscoe's like, we didn't believe we did anything wrong. And then we checked everybody's emails and texts. And we're like, people were really mad. So, and so Trod's like, you're currently trying to buy a large parcel of land for your permanent headquarters. How will you win back our trust? And Roscoe's like, we're going to throw you a free concert with U2 and Beyonce. And Andy's like pretty stoked about it. And Keston's like, yes. And then tickets are already on your phone, and like seating is going to be organized by income and sexual history. And that's the last time.
That's it. I swear.
So cuts zooms out to Leslie saying like, wow, they're really scrambling. They're freaking out. This is the first time we have an opportunity. And so we have to do something big and exciting to leverage this. And Andy is like, I have something that's big and exciting. First of all, we need a blimp and a decoy blimp. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's none of our strategy involves blimps. And
but
so
now I really want to hear it.
Yeah, I wonder why you would need a decoy blimp. It sounds like you're probably going to blow up one of the blimps.
I hope so.
Right?
The humanity.
It'd be pretty amazing. My daughter, speaking of blimps, and
wow,
this whole story. We were listening to the radio, and I play a game like, do you know who this is? And she never does, because we listen to my radio.
Right. You listen to the old music.
She will ask me that when we listen to her radio, and I say, I don't know, The Weeknd. And most of the time it is, because they play a lot of The Weeknd. And so Led Zeppelin was playing, and I was like, do you know who this is? And she's like, no. I was like, it's Led Zeppelin. I was like, oh. So is he I was like, wait. You think somebody's first name is Led?
That's an awesome name.
It's Led Zeppelin is a band. It's like, and they're just like, oh, okay. And then a couple other times later, I was like, do you know who this is? It was Led Zeppelin again. And she's like, is Eric Clapton in Led Zeppelin? I was like, no.
At least she knows who Eric Clapton is.
I guess. It was still super frustrating. So yeah.
Jimmy Page and Eric Clapton. I'm in.
Well, that would actually be like in the 70s, that would have been a pretty rad show. Now they're both old and they play much slower. They're not as exciting to watch.
Anytime you got to do a tour and everybody comes out sitting on stools, it's over, man. Stop, please.
Yeah. You guys just stop. I went to
when the concession stand sells Ensure, it's over. You can't.
I went to an Eric Clapton concert because he said, this is going to be my last tour.
Oh, sucker.
And I was like, I got to go. And so I bought tickets. It was a great show. Mm-hmm. 2 years goes by and he's like, back on tour. I'm like, Eric Clapton, you betrayed me like a calzone. So anyway, so the actual strategy that April presents is that they're going to ask Gryzzl to split the land because it will, hopefully see them as buying back some support. So they'll build some of the land on the other side of the lake. They'll donate to national parks. And Ron's like, I am not a spy and I would never reveal classified information. And Beth's like, do you have to say that every time? Yes. But Gryzzl's dead set on owning the entire parcel. And so this plan will probably not work. But Leslie is pretty excited because she's like, you know what? If this doesn't work, something will, because you and I, Ron, when we're working together, great things happen. And they go to a talking head with Ron and Leslie, and she's talking about how now they're like Joey Fatone and Lance Bass because they're totally in sync, and they try to high five or handshake and then alternate, and then Ron just starts tapping her head. So yeah, they're definitely in sync. So then as they're talking, they also find out, they get alerts that Jessica Newport is going to make a announcement, and she starts by saying the Newport Trust told Gryzzl in no uncertain terms that they would not do business with a company that invades our privacy.
Good.
Then Gryzzl upped the offer to $125 million, and I swear to God, y'all, I nearly fainted. So we're just going to go ahead and sell it to them for $125 million. So she's a person of principle. And the so Leslie is upset. Everybody's kind of upset by all of this. And Ron's like, come on, nope. How about we go drown our sorrows in some waffles?
That's awesome advice.
Yeah. That is awesome advice. Waffles are excellent. So they go to JJ's diner because it's the best and they have great waffles. And Leslie's like, all I wanted was valued at $100 million given to me for free. Is that too much to ask? April says Budo is still an option. And Leslie says no, they won. And they're talking, they're recognizing that everything's changing in Pawnee. Even JJ's is disappearing because, the landowner is selling the whole lot there. And so, yeah, town's losing its charm. And there's too much kale now. One place asked me if I wanted kale in my milkshake. My milkshake, you guys.
Ugh.
So yeah, it's a pretty sad thing when
Pawnee's getting gentrified, basically.
It is. Yeah, a big company like Gryzzl comes in and a lot of tech workers come along. It's going to change the town, which is happening in our region right now. So yeah, if anybody's tried to buy a house in the Seattle area lately, it's pretty terrible. It's pretty awful. So, fortunately, that's not either of our problem.
Oh, wow.
Jeremy's buying a new house right now.
Oh my gosh. I am.
It's fun. It's fun to hear you talk about it.
It is why sometimes we don't always get to record on Fridays.
Yes. Yeah. That or vacation or distraction or laziness. But that's it.
Right. But other than that, that's the main one.
Yeah. So so JJ's is closing. Leslie is sad, and Ron, even though he's a big believer in the free market and ultimately says JJ's failure as a businessman is the ultimate reason to blame, it's still sad that the diner is closing. And JJ like, well, I agree with you. But the guy who's buying it didn't even give him an opportunity to re-up the lease. And so Leslie is now on a campaign to try to figure out how can we stop this from happening.
Yeah, she's got to save something. She figures that the national parks thing is toast, and now she's at least can save waffles.
Yeah. So Ben is talking to JJ, like, your landlord didn't give you a chance to counter. Like, who is it? And so he goes to get the forms, and Andy Dwyer, always serious about everything. It's like, was it Putin? Voldemort Putin of Russia?
Close enough. I mean,
Voldemort Putin. I love that. But he's like, I'd like to take that guy down. So JJ comes back with the documents, and it's Thigh Gap LLC owner Dennis Feinstein. And
he's the worst.
The worst.
He's the best at the worst.
Yeah. The name of his company is so terrible that it only could be Dennis Feinstein. And so Leslie now is like, all right, we're going to take him down with a old fashioned public rally. So they're on it. They're going to go make that happen. And Leslie's like, Andy, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Blimp time. No, I think this is a job for Jonathan Karate.
Oh,
so exciting. So Andy's ready to go and make Jonathan Karate show up and do his thing. And then we have another conversation with Ron and Leslie. We're like, what do you think? Dynamic duo together again. It's time to save JJ's Diner. And they're on board. And so then they try to do the handshake high five combination, and they both fail again. And this time, Leslie just pats Ron's tummy. So
full of waffles.
Yeah. And we're saying, we'll just keep practicing. So they are cut to outside Dennis Feinstein's office, and they have a rally going with tens of people. And so she is talking like, we're here to save this institution that's been a part of Pawnee for 41 years. This man built it from the ground up with his bare hands. And JJ's like, that's not true. It's constructing a narrative. And so, so they are trying to get people on board, and then she hands it over to Ron. And I just love Ron and his honesty in this speech. And he's like, I do not like rallies. And based on what I see from this vantage point, I do not like most of you. What I do like is breakfast food. JJ's has very good breakfast food, so it should remain open. Please do not approach me on the street after this event and attempt to talk to me. Our similarities begin and end with this single issue. Ron Swanson. So good. So good. Meanwhile, while the rally is happening outside, Dennis Feinstein's offices have been infiltrated by one Jonathan Karate. And he goes to the reception desk, and the receptionist is like, can I help you? I'm here to see Dennis Feinstein. The appointment should be under Karate. Jonathan Karate. And she says, I don't see a Jonathan Karate anywhere. Exactly. And then he ducks down with all his ninjas, and they just crawl past the desk.
And did you notice? I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the episodes, but I noticed he's wearing a T-shirt underneath that has a tie on it.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So I wonder if that's like the distinction for like, I'm serious. Like, this is serious Johnny Karate. Jonathan Karate dresses up.
Yeah.
Jonathan dresses up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He wears a tie.
Because he's a firstborn.
Because, yeah, he's serious.
Yeah. And we have a talking head with Andy explaining the differences between Johnny and Jonathan. And so, they occasionally deal with real issues like bullying, peer pressure, or holding in farts.
Mm-hmm.
And in those special episodes, I become Jonathan Karate, the very serious older brother of Johnny Karate. Jonathan tells it like it is. He makes people do the right thing. So that's the difference. And then we cut to Dennis Feinstein, who's using VR and enjoying some kind of adult content, it seems.
I think so.
But he's like, I gotta go. I have to meet Rick and TC at the King Kamehameha Club. Higgins is missing.
Yeah, so some Magnum PI adult content.
I guess. Yeah. Higgins is missing. So Andy comes into Dennis's office and is like, my name is Jonathan Karate, and we need to talk. Dennis is like, well, hurry up. I gotta go pull the plug on my dad in 10 minutes. So he's just terrible all around.
The worst.
And Andy's like, I heard you were buying JJ's Diner and kicking everybody out. And Dennis is like, yeah, real estate prices are amazing. And I'm going to turn that place into Elbow Art Salon and make a killing.
Elbow art.
And he's like, who's going to miss the diner? He's like, well, why don't you look outside? And outside there's a rally with Leslie leading the chants. What do we want? Breakfast. When do we want it? Forever.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
And Dan's like, I had no idea it was so loved. This could be bad for business. And Andy's like, we'll tell the people that JJ's can stay. And Andy's like, oh, or Dan's like, okay.
But the way he does it is like, then come with me. And he puts his hand up like, take my hand. Let me take you on a journey. Let me lead you. Let me help you see.
Yeah. You know what? I realized something. We were supposed to be doing the Donna story.
Oh yeah. You got off track, and I was like, I'm not gonna. Not my job. That's not my job, man.
I just kept going.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Sorry. So dumb, Jason. All right. So, So Dennis is like, you need to get these kids out of here. My colognes have been known to stunt human growth. So Andy scatters them. And Dennis is impressed by how well trained they are. Oh man, I feel so stupid. So Leslie is still out.
I thought you were doing like they were kind of like at the beginning they were together and then they went off and then no. So I was like, I thought you had a plan. I don't know.
No, I didn't have a plan. I'm just distracted by the excavator in my window.
Yes. Okay. See, I love the truth. This is true. This is real life.
They're like really doing the work now. Like there's like orange plastic fencing around the lots. It's like really
That's
happening.
how you know they're getting serious. Yeah.
Yeah. So Leslie is leading the charge again outside, and Dennis comes out, and she's like, "Whoa, everybody! Speak of the devil, ladies and gentlemen, the devil, Dennis Feinstein." And he's like, "Hey, now, hang on. I think everybody's going to want to hear what I have to say. People of Bonnie, I just came down here to tell you how much I appreciate your passion. You've been heard loud and clear. You've convinced me. JJ's can stay." And Leslie's like, "Yeah.
Hey.
I just have one more thing to say. Psych." Because he's in middle school.
Yes, exactly.
And he's like, "Do you think I care how much you love that stupid diner? I bought this for a song and I'm going to sell it for a mint. And you can all just sit here pulling your buds." And he's like, "Give me your booze. I am nourished by your hatred." And he's like, "You're also trespassing. And so release the hounds." And Ron's like, "What hounds?" And like, "The hounds is an FDA rejected cologne I've been working on that makes everything smell like wet dog." "Make it rain." And so they start spraying it everywhere. And Dennis is like, "I got to go kill my dad. Let's go." So, yeah. So now afterwards, after the carnage of the hounds, they're all trying to like get cleaned up, and let's like, "Sorry, JJ, I gave you false hope. It's a lost cause, just like my stupid park." And Andy's like, "No, there's got to be another way. What if we steal the keys to Feinstein's building, break in and TP his office and film the whole thing? We definitely get on a prank show." And yeah, so it's not going to work. But April has a solution. It's like, well, why does it have to stay where it is? Because there's a ton of buildings where Andy and I live, and they're all super cheap because they're empty and disgusting. And so it's a good idea. And let's like, yeah, great. Anything to get away from this cologne smell. And then we hear Ben like, "Oh no, water makes it worse." So how do you wash it off? I don't know.
Just tomato juice, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ben's wearing his 90s throwback shirt to his Radiohead Karma Police shirt. I like that. He's got his Letters for Cleo shirt, and now he's like an activist. It's Radiohead Karma Police. I like it.
Yeah. Wow. He's definitely got a 90s era t-shirt for every occasion.
It's true. Should be a subscription service.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. Like an app that tracks your mileage for your shoes.
Yep. If only. Listener, did you know that you're supposed to change out your shoes after a certain amount of miles?
What, like running shoes in particular?
In particular.
So, yeah, we knew this. We talked about it earlier before we were recording. So you're welcome. A little behind the scenes on something you didn't care about. So like the behind the scenes for Ninja Turtles 2 Secrets of the Ooze. Like no one's asking for that. We get it. They're dudes in suits.
Director's commentary? No, I'm good.
I don't want a director's commentary. I want Raphael's commentary. But not Raphael from the movie, Raphael from the cartoon. That's what I want. So
they totally miscast me. Just offended the entire time.
Yeah, that'd be great. Anyway, the best director's commentary ever was on Fight Club, because it was David Finch, right? David Finch, whatever, the director, and Fincher, yes, Fincher, and Brad Pitt and Edward Norton doing the commentary together. It was great. So makes the movie worth it. Anyway, so they go to Beachview Terrace, which turns out is Dexart's district. And he promised to clean it up, but then didn't do anything. He just changed the name to Beachview Terrace. And Leslie says a more accurate name for this place is Medical Waste Butt Sweat Grove, which is great. But yeah, it's a really terrible neighborhood. And everything, all the buildings are worn down. Raccoons ate the wheels right off of a street cleaner. It's bad. It's bad. And this is where where April and Andy bought the insane asylum for doll manufacturer workers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was.
It is.
So
from Werner Herzog.
Yeah. And so the real estate person comes, who is She's like, I'm sorry, late, but we listed this thing for 7 years ago, and no one's ever wanted to see it. I thought it was a prank call. So, and April's like, it has everything: vermin, bullet holes, a hornet's nest. And JJ is like, look, I appreciate all the work you're doing, but nobody wants to come here. So how am I going to have a restaurant when respectable people don't live in this part of town? And Andy's like, that's right, because that's where he and April live. Like, this is great. And he's like, everything would have to magically change. The whole neighborhood would have to suddenly become safe and clean and have businesses and people who dine out. And they were like, no, then we have to move again. And Ron and Leslie are like, oh, wait a second. Are you thinking it's possible? We need PR, which you could then, yeah, right. Okay, good. And so they have a whole plan in that one moment. And
because they're back
at it.
There's simpatico.
Yeah. It really, though, the back at it is Leslie doing all the work and Ron doing none work. And so I don't know how they are working so well together now. But anyway.
Because he's letting her do all the work again.
Yeah, I guess.
Just saying, yes, that's the right way to go.
Yeah.
Continue.
You do the thing, Leslie. And so Leslie's like, okay, we got 5 days to do 3 months of work. But we can pull it off. We can rescue JJ's Diner. We can establish a new national park. And we can save Pawnee forever. Who's in? And out of nowhere, Herman stands up. I am.
Not nowhere.
Yeah. They ask, where'd you come from? The floor hole.
And so, I don't know if there was more to that line, but if you watch it, just the way he ends that line, the floor hole, and that's it. They cut there was more. Like, nope, just the floor hole.
There's a floor hole. Yeah. So Herman is the pawn shop owner and Herman Lurpus, and potentially brother of the funeral home director.
Yeah, related in some way.
Dan Lurpus. So again, listener, we are proposing that Dan Lurpus is a grave robber and Herman Lurpus is selling dead people's jewelry at the pawn shop.
Yeah, I think that's canon. It has to be right.
Yeah, well, in the realm of Parks and Conversation, it's absolutely canon. So no problem there. So Roscoe comes to a meeting that Leslie is hosting in the Beachview Terrace neighborhood. And he's like, you guys, I don't know what this meeting is about, but it's 4:13. So you got 7 minutes, which is so funny.
Oh,
because 4:20 is the time that people smoke weed. So 4:13.
Why would you want to? It's like people try to get that out of your yard. Is that what?
Yeah, that's the kind of weed we're talking about.
I don't understand these.
They smoke it.
I don't get these pop culture references.
Yeah. So they need to go blaze out. They're going to need to go smoke a spliff. Roll a doobie.
Okay.
Anyway. And so Leslie is like, I want to introduce you to the new home of the Gryzzl campus. And Roscoe is like, we just spent $125 million to build a campus in southern Indiana foothills. And Ron points out another $100 million in at least to construct the building, roads, plumbing, electrical. The infrastructure to build out there is going to be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Les is like, everything here is ready. I know it's over 5 blocks of historic Pawnee. And Ben gives them a proposal for the regional corporate headquarters. And Roscoe's like, is this paper? Super throwback. And Ron is like, I inspected it. Their buildings are gross, but the guts are solid. And Ben also talks about construction costs, retail space options, all the different things to say this is a good thing. And April points out that the buildings come pre-graffitied, and Roscoe's like, we wouldn't have to hire Banksy. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
But he's like, we spent so much money on this trill forest. I don't know what trill means, but so what are we supposed to do with that? And then Leslie's like, here's Leslie trying to be a cool, says, here's a far out idea that just came from the top of my brainium. Why don't you donate the land to the national parks? That would be pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, and you could get some better tax breaks and could help you with the mad stank construction costs. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't. I just can't say these words.
Ben, you don't have to. It's okay.
Yeah. And And so Roscoe's like, well, but why couldn't we just build the campus here and then keep the land or sell it? And Ron's like, you could, but this would give you good PR, which you really need. So things are rolling in the right direction. And then Roscoe becomes an adult for a sentence. He's like, okay, well, I got to talk to my board as well as our chief legal counsel, our senior advisory team. And then adult is over when he says, truthfully, they're all shrooming super hard at Coachella right now. So this is the organization. And he's like, but as soon as they get back, I'll get into it. And then he gets an alert from his phone, which shows like a dude and a pot leaf. It's like, I'm sorry, but we got a meeting. I'll catch you guys later. And they had to go. And then Andy's like, I got to go too. I also have a meeting. And Ben is like, Andy has a meeting? So what is this meeting? Well, Dennis Feinstein is in his office. And who's in there? Or what does he find is his office is completely teepeed. And Dennis is like, who did this? And then out of nowhere, Jonathan Karate shows up. And Andy's like, we did. One way or another, Jonathan Karate always gets his man. And like that, they were gone. And he does a... And then he's like, wait, guys, where's Gavin? Wait, stop. And he's like, there were supposed to be 6 ninjas. Where's Gavin? Who was Gavin's buddy? Caleb, come on, dude.
Come
Why
on,
do we
Caleb.
even have a buddy system? Is he in the bathroom? You got to tell me if Gavin's pooping. No, do not laugh.
Oh,
you're not even Caleb. You're Gavin. You're Caleb. If you're Caleb, where's Hunter? Hunter. Who was Hunter's buddy? Oh, man, I was. Oh, crap. Oh, Dennis, what a mess.
You have 30 seconds to get out of this facility.
I love it. It's like, I was Hunter's buddy.
Yeah. And he just looks at Dennis like, no, this supersedes everything. Like, there's a child like missing. What a mess. Come on, man. Dennis is like, I don't care.
You weren't supposed to be here in the first place. So, yeah. So then cut back to Leslie talking to Ron, and they're waiting to hear from Gryzzl. It's like, it's been a week, it might not work. And Ron's like, it'll work. But what if it doesn't? We handed them a full plan and they could totally do this whole thing and build a new park. And and their board could all still say no. And Ron's like, well, you'll know, like, you're secure knowing that you gave it your best shot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they'll go for it. What makes you so confident? And Ron is like, well, a wise woman once said, when we team up, good things happen.
Mm.
And he's like, also, they called 3 hours ago and they approved the plan. So, So Leslie is like, you just sat on this for 3 hours? Like, yeah, we did it. And Ron's like, yep, congratulations. And he tries to do a handshake and Leslie gives him a big old hug. And he's like, I do not approve of this. And Leslie's just like, I don't care. So, so that's the main plot. So we wrap up the Morningstar pain of Ron and Leslie. We move forward on securing the Sweetums land through a donation from Gryzzl. Gryzzl gets their headquarters. Everybody's happy.
And Pawnee gets cleaned up in Dexhart's district.
Yeah.
Which
JJ's continues to exist somewhere. So many good things. It's just like real life.
Exactly. It all, and in 22 minutes. That's the crazy thing.
This wasn't even 22 minutes. Like, this was like 17 of those 22 minutes.
Right.
So efficient. I wish TV was like this. Like life was more like TV.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great.
Yep.
That'd be great.
Everywhere you
go. To get back to the original plan, we should talk about Donna and Tom.
They're fine.
They go treat yourselfing. And they're at Tom's restaurant, Tom's Bistro, because he has to tie some things up. And so Lucy comes in and is like, before you go, can you sign just some checks? Do mine first in case something happens to you. I want to make sure I get paid. And I'm like, look out for number one. Awesome. And he's like, how's post breakup life? And like, oh, they're super fun and make everyone feel awesome. And Donna is like, you should come to my wedding. It's going to be hella fun. And Tom is like, you should come with me. That's like a +1. I was like, work friends, or maybe an employee type thing. Yeah, you should
just see him losing his confidence as he keeps talking.
You should come, and you should come to the wedding and do paperwork.
Stop! You're making this sound almost too fun.
And so,
Lucy's great. Lucy's character is awesome.
She is very good. Yeah. So as they're leaving, Donna's like, can we talk about that disastrous interaction you just had? And he's like, no, I don't want to talk about it. Today's about one thing. Things, Donna, our favorite. And Donna realizes this isn't the way to the mall. And because Tom's like, we're going to do something we've always talked about. And it's bigger than ever. Treat yourself in Beverly Hills.
I love that DJ Blunts is like a cake delivery, DJ, music hype man, taxi cab driver.
Yeah.
Like DJ Blunts does it all.
He is the epitome of a freelancer.
Yeah. he is the gig economy in Pawnee.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you don't have Uber there yet. You just have DJ Blunts. He's like, what
I'm
do you
going to
need?
you're going Blunts home.
Yeah. I'm going to blunts my way out of here. And you've always got a great soundtrack.
Right.
So, yeah. So
Could you stop spinning a second and keep your eyes on the road, please?
No, man, I'm mixing it. So they get to Beverly Hills and they're, greeted by paparazzi that Tom hired. And then they do a star tour. Like, ladies and gentlemen, off to your right, you can see the house that belongs to Bruce Willis and Christina Aguilera. Which are like, what? And to our left is Usher's Los Angeles residence, and they're freaking out. It's Usher's house, and then they do the Walk of Fame, and there's Usher's star. And then we find out they have an elbow bedazzling appointment, and at 140, and custom for the cost, and then custom art starts at $250.
Wow.
And Donna's like, I'm going to need 3 big diamonds surrounded by their own set of tiny diamonds, and that would fall into the Supreme collection, which is $600. So this treat yourself section here, it comes after Dennis says, I'm going to open up a elbow bedazzling salon.
Right.
And then we're like, well, that's dumb. And then Donna and Tom are at the elbow bedazzling salon. So, yeah. So they're at the spa, and then and Tom's just like, treat yourself. You do it all. Go for it. And then somebody he's looking at the menu, he's like, LASIK for fingernails. I came up with that idea. And the person's like, you want it? It's $275. He's like, yeah. Laser my fingernails off, please. Yeah, and this was his idea way back in like season 2. I think he mentioned LASIK for fingernails. So they do the spa thing. Then they go to the hottest restaurant in LA where you are eating sushi, but it's made from fish previously owned by celebrities. So it's pretty cool. So they're doing that, and Donna notices Tom's just checking his phone every 5 minutes, waiting to see how Lucy's going to respond to the wedding. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm distracted. And Donna's like, I understand. That's why I got you a gift. And he's like, you didn't have to give me anything. This is your day. And he's like, well, I got you a piece of advice. And he's like, I was hoping that it was actually the shoes from Jaden Smith wears in Hitch 2, Son of a Hitch. Second time they've called back to a movie that does not exist, but 2014 did not know what could have happened in 2017.
They were hoping.
Son of a Hitch. So the advice was to be upfront with his feelings for Lucy, and Tom is nervous because like she works for me, she moved here, and I don't want to make it weird. And what if she says no? What if I'm the one who got feelings? And Donna was like, you won't know until you ask. And when it comes to matters of the heart, treat yourself. And Tom was like, wow, Donna, that's a great gift. And Donna's like, I almost forgot. I did get you those shoes from Hitch 2. He's like, this is even better gift. But then to cap off the whole evening at this sushi restaurant, there's Josh Groban, singer extraordinaire. He's also a very funny dude. And he's looking at the menu, and he says, can I get the soft shell crab? And Tom's like, he's eating his own sushi? That's the most baller thing I've ever seen. So I do love Josh Groban as a person. He seems like a very funny dude. And
he's Andy's brother in The Office.
Right. Yeah. Walt Jr., who was born after Andy, and Andy was originally Walt Jr. and they changed his name because Walt Jr. was more Walty. So I love that part of the story.
Oh, Andy.
Andy is like, but you like, I know that's a different show. We'll get to it when we get to it. But Andy is a person looking for an identity throughout the whole series that he's in it, right? And then they reveal that his parents changed his identity when he was like 3 years old.
Right.
Like, you're no longer Walt. We're going to give you a new name, Andy.
Andy.
And this person is the new Walt Jr. Ugh, man.
He's better than you.
Yeah, that's some serious trauma right there, which explains so much of Andy's life. So they come back, and Lucy is at the restaurant. I was like, and Tom is doing like some kind of paperwork stuff. And Lucy's like, hey, how was your trip? I was like, great. Obviously, bedazzled that elbow. And he pulls up his elbow. It's got weird bedazzling on it. And everything here in Pawnee was normal. And she's like, I was thinking about the idea of going to Donna's wedding. And Tom's like, wait, before you say anything, I don't want you to go to supervise catering. I want you to come with me as my date. And Lou's like, oh. And so he's like, but it's probably uncool for me to even ask, which is why I signed these documents transferring day-to-day operations to Top Bistro over to Craig. He'll be your boss now, not me. And Craig's like, it's about time. And he walks off. We're losing the cranberry salad effective immediately. And Lou's like, oh, you don't have to do this. And Tom was like, yeah, I do, because you're great. I want you to work here forever. And you don't have to have feelings for me. I need to know that everything is going to be fine. And he's like, in fact, forget it. I wasn't even serious. You've been hoaxed. You've been Tommied. And Lou's like, no, I want to go with you as your date. And so Tom's like, oh, cool. Craig, never mind. Rip these papers up. And Craig is so good. Well, I wish my reign had lasted longer, but I'm happy with the decisions I made and the people I fired. All of that happened in like 30 seconds.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so that's the episode. Tom is going to Donna's wedding with Lucy, and they get the episode, or not the episode, they get the land for the national park. Everybody's winning. Everybody's winning. It's so great. Yeah, so that's it. I think we covered everything in the order that I started out at.
100%. Yeah, you nailed it.
Totally.
7-7, episode 7, season 7, episode 7. Donna and Joe. Donna and Joe is next.
Oh man, this is the wedding, right?
The wedding.
Questlove makes an appearance. Pretty excited about that.
Yeah, Ben gets a new
opportunity.
Opportunity. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Mm-hmm. And Ron causes problems for Tom's new relationship.
Yeah. Ron. That's so great. Well, I'm looking forward to it. And an
ad update for IMDb, in case you haven't been on for a while. I hear Good Omens 2 is out because I can't click anywhere on the internet without seeing an ad for Good Omens 2.
That's great. I didn't see Good Omens 1.
I haven't either.
And I haven't read the book.
Same.
And so I can't really watch David Tennant outside of anything other than Jessica Jones or Doctor Who.
Jessica!
Yeah, that's all I can see now. It's just him yelling Jessica or crying about Rose.
He's good in Broadchurch. It's a seaside detective murder. Yeah. He's really good in it.
He is a good actor. There's so much stuff. How am I supposed to watch it all? I heard somebody on a podcast say, like, I could really use like knee surgery or something right now. Nothing serious, but something that would just slow me down for a little bit.
Right.
Like, that's unhealthy.
I have to watch this TV. There's nothing else to do.
Oh man. Yeah. Someday.
We can only hope. Well,
if my knees squish more on the stairs every time I use them, that's probably my future. It up.
Just make sure you keep, you get new insoles in your shoes and keep changing them out, rotate them through if you need to. Keep those feet fresh.
I'll do my best.
Okay. Well, until then,
Yeah, until then, listener, thank you for going on this wild ride with us. We're getting ever closer to the end of Parks and Recreation. And then we're switching over. When we're done with this, we'll switch over to another of the Sure universe. Our plan is to tackle Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Dun, 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 dun.
And it's going to be nice. Smart.
Cool.
So
cool.
Yeah, I love that show. My wife and I are currently rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and every time, like, I start doing something else, like, and she's like, I want to watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm like, well, I'm reading a book. And pretty soon she's like, I'm not reading a book anymore. Like, I am just into whatever's happening. And Raymond Holt is just such a wonderful character.
I'm excited.
So, yeah, me too.
We're in the arc where the vulture has taken over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get there. All in due time.
Listeners, send us questions or emails or rate and review. Tell your friends about this and say, hey, they're almost done. So jump in now.
Perfect timing. If you ever wanted to quit something, now is the time.
Yeah. So if you wanted to get into a podcast, but not for a long time, there's only like 6 more episodes of this. So you're welcome. So yeah. Thanks, listener. Thanks a lot. Jeremy, I'll see you later.
All right, man. Bye.
Bye.